So hello there and welcome to Ívar's Fly Workshop. Today we are tying a fly that's called Teal and Black. You may be familiar with the pattern, but it's like a really good pattern when it comes to trout fishing here in Iceland. The thread we are using, that's an Uni 80 Black, and the hook we are using, that's an Ahrex FW 580 wet fly hook number 10. And the tail of the fly, that's a feather from the golden pheasant, not the crest but the other one. And I lined the length of the tail in that way, so both of the black dots on the feather will be visible. Then we'll just snip off the tag end of the feather, and we will be using for the rib, we will be using an Uni oval silver, and we attach that down there. And for the body of the fly, you can use either black wool or you can dub it with seal's fur. And this is my dubbing box. It's just a fishing box with those tiny little spaces in it, and I just drilled holes on the bottom of it, and it's like a suspensor now. It's a really good system, and I totally recommend that. If you have a box like this that you're not using, you can use it to do this. Basically clean it, drill holes on the bottom of it for each section, and then just fill it up with your favorite dubbing material. Yeah, like I said, we are going to make a top as a body on the fly, not wool. And I mean, it works either way perfectly. I just feel like dubbing, so we'll be twisting that on the thread, and you're just doing this traditional dubbing. I'm not splitting the thread or doing any dubbing loop or anything. It's not necessary for this dubbing job. And then we slide the material a little bit closer to the shank. And while you guys are doing this, wrapping the dub on the body and creating the body, it's important that you don't hit the point of the hooks, because that can kind of destroy your dubbing job. Then in the opposite direction, we'll wrap on the oval silver tinsel and catch that with our thread there. I have to hold it because it's going in the other direction. Just hold it tight and give it a couple of wraps, and it's gonna stay in place without any problem. This is like a traditional pattern originated from I think England. It's from the UK at least. Just like any other of those teal flies, and it's a really effective pattern. So is the teal and blue as well. If you like to keep the body like a little bit buggier, you can go with your needle. It's not necessary, of course, it's just if you like it to be a little bit more furry, you can come with a needle into the body and pinch out few furs like I'm doing. And you always try to let the fur of the fly like go backwards or be lined backwards, but it's not it's not gonna matter at all actually when it's in the water. Then you can trim off some of those longer fibers if you don't like them. And for the beard or the collar, we are just gonna make a beard of this fly. We'll be using a black cock or a rooster, feather, and we take just pinch tiny amount of fibers from it, just like this. Place it in the correct angle that we want to, and then we can adjust the length of the fibers that way. And when we are satisfied with that, we can add one pinch more. Nothing more than this actually for this fly, just in case of not over dressing it. It's already dressed well, so you don't need to dress the beard any further than this. Just turn it in its position that you want to lock it in, and then just take those tighter wraps with your thread. Then the beard is in its place, and you have to take the tag ends. Yeah, you can adjust it more if you like. It's all up to you. Then you have to snip off the tag ends, and it's very nice to have a rotary vise when it comes to that. Believe me, guys, I just got my Renzetti last year. Nah, it's like 14 months, so it's not last year, but almost. No regrets on that, but I just tied on a C-clamp vise, no rotary vise, just for over 30 years without any problems, so I decided to treat myself. We are cutting like this. We are cutting just like a little line from the top of the feathers, not the feathers, but the furs of the body. We are going to use a teal flank for the wing, and I'm cutting, the furs just so the wing won't be like dislocated. And we pinch out like a decent amount of fibers from the teal. And you can, when you're doing the teal, you can like twist the feathers with your fingers, in between your fingers. Then you get the memory out of the feather. Like, it's easier to control it, just like I'm doing. And then we have to measure the length of the wing. And I have to turn it a few times. I'm satisfied with it there, so we'll be locking it in there. And you can see the tail and the tip of the wing, they are just almost in the same place. That's just the rule of thumb which I time my flies after. So tail and wing, especially in those wet patterns. Then we form a little head on it, and it's like we say, it's nice to like keep the head like this, so otherwise you may end up with a little bit too bulky head, and it's nice when it's this size. So we'll just give it a couple of finishes before we place on the UV glue. You snip off the end, and then the fly is ready almost. And the UV resin I'm using, it's called Solarez Bone Cure. It's one of my favorite resins. It's in many of my videos, and it's not sticky or tacky. That's why I like it. And when you sap it with your UV torch, it's just gonna be like glass solid film after. It's just like a cement. So we'll just sap it there with our light, and then the teal and black fly is ready. So I just want to say, guys, thanks for watching. Just remember to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.